Gamecast from MSN.
In association with Windows Internet Explorer 8.
Hello and welcome to another Gamecast. My name's Ian Lee. Hello. Nick's here.
Hello there.
And Verity's there.
Hi. Well, we're
Here
all
we
here.
all are.
That's all the business done, isn't it? Let's get straight into it. We start, as always, with the games we've been playing this month. Nick, thank you to you. I've spent a whole day playing a game I would never have even heard of, Limbo. From the Xbox Live download. It's, I think, 1,200 points, which I don't even know what that is in real money. That's the clever trick they play on you. It's points, so you don't know what you're spending. It was brilliant. Lovely little sort of 2D platformer puzzle game. It's all black and white. It's all very eerie. The thing that I noticed, there's hardly any music in it. For the most part, it's just silent.
Yeah.
And then when you get to some spooky bits, there's a little bit of weird music and stuff going on. But I played it and I finished it and got to the end.
Yeah.
By cheating. I had to use a walkthrough to help me with bits.
You should hang your head in shame
I should do.
temporarily while you beat that.
I never use walkthroughs. I would never use those cheat codes that pop. Can you still get cheat codes?
I don't know. I remember you used to be able to get those cheat things for the NES. You used to be able to put your cartridge into another one, and that was called Genie.
Was Genie it? Nintendo.
That was the worst way. That was the way that I would never touch, an actual hardware solution to cheating.
And that would give you like infinite lives and weapons.
All
And
that
Didn't
kind of
Nintendo
stuff.
get funny about that? They kind of do when there's these editions come out, and I think they tried to close the Genie.
I think you could use
I'm
it
pretty
for
sure
playing grey imports and things like that as well. So that was
But do you still get the cheat codes nowadays? I don't think you do.
What,
you?
like A, B, B,
Yeah,
A, B, B?
up, down, down, A, B, B, or you can go in the Hall of Fame and type in a silly word and...
You get a few to get Easter eggs in games and things like that sometimes. But no, it's really died off.
That's a shame, because
now,
there used to be a whole industry, wasn't it? It was you get cheat books and
cheat magazines,
would have their pages that would tell you the cheats and... Anyway, I did use a walkthrough. And I do feel a little bit dirty, because I kind of assume you do the same, and you're playing it au naturel.
Yes, yeah. Well, I thought I would, and it's... most of the way through, the games are so beautifully logical that you can work them out, given a little bit of time.
You
anyway,
get towards the end.
But I got horribly stuck. About halfway through, I got horribly stuck on something that, when I looked back at it, was actually quite simple.
Yeah.
But sometimes your head just won't see things in the way that they're really meant to be worked out. And I had that a complete mental block with it.
What puzzle are you on now? Do you remember?
Yeah, I keep getting electrocuted at the moment. I've just come down in a little a mine shaft.
Oh, you're never going to work it out. You are never going to work that out. I know exactly where you are. And even... I had to... Right, okay. I'll admit it. I read the walkthrough for that one. I couldn't work it out. I had to go onto YouTube... and watch someone doing it to work it out. And even then, I still found it really difficult. You're never going to work that out.
Oh, because I've only just got to that one, you see. So I'm thinking, I'll come back to it. I spent about 5 minutes with it. And,
if you can work that out on your own without a walkthrough or video, I will give you £10.
Awesome.
Seriously,
right,
I would do that. That will be. We'll find out next month if you did that, because it's impossible. But it's a brilliant game. I thoroughly recommend it, and it's kind of It's kind of old school and a little bit retro, but it doesn't really feel like that. It's just a wonderful game, so thank you for that. Yeah. What have you been playing apart from Limbo?
Apart from Limbo, I've been playing. I've been going back to stuff really,
right?
Because August is rubbish, isn't it? Here we are at the start of August.
Very rubbish, yes.
And
sell the podcast, Nick. Why don't you? Yeah, we haven't got much to talk about for the next 40 minutes. Thanks for listening.
But there's really not a lot that's new and good around. So I've been going back into things like Mass Effect 2.
Oh, okay.
I've been getting into that a bit, because that sort of passed me by a little bit at the time. And enjoying that very much. That's really cool. But also there's quite a lot of previews going on at the moment for all of the games that are going to be coming out later on in the year and towards Christmas.
the next time, October, November, December is when the next rush of good games comes out, I guess, for Christmas.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's a few here and there, but like August has still got Mafia 2 to come, which does look really cool. It's set in the 40s and 50s, Grand Theft Auto style. Sequel to
Mafia,
a 4-year-old Mafia game. Yeah, so it's I think that's going to be cool. And Kane and Lynch might be good. There's Kane and Lynch 2, which is another shooty type thing.
The first one wasn't that great, was it?
No, the first one's patchy. Yeah. But this one's looking a lot better. they've just made the combat so much more improved from the first one, because that was what the main
I think Kane and
issue
Lynch
with it.
sponsored Prison Break. I think it sponsored something.
Oh yeah.
I remember it looked really good, and then I thought, well, I might get that, and then read the reviews and went, I don't think I'll get that. It looks a little bit rubbish.
But this one's played from Lynch's point of view.
Oh, there's a twist.
Than
Kane's, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. but Lynch, when you're behind him, as far as I can make out at the moment, looks almost exactly like Andy out of Little Britain. You see, he's got the same vest on and the same sort of hairdo. So
looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Verity, have you been playing anything?
Been playing a couple of things. I've had a couple of previews as well. Previewed Fable 3.
Okay. Any good?
Well, this is going to upset a lot of people, but I didn't play Fable 1 or 2. Again, it kind of something that passed me by. But I thought it was quite good, because I wasn't really into my point and clicks. RPGs have got a kind of they're probably one of the games that appeal to me most. And Fable 3 just looks like quite a bit of fun. Again, it was we only got to have a small go on it. The combat, from what I could tell, I did go back and have a look at some Fable 2 footage. I think a lot of people were complaining that the combat in Fable 2 wasn't quite so smooth. Again, that was probably like an area that, same as Kane and Lynch, wasn't as great. And like, you could only use one weapon at a time, so you'd have to be fighting with your sword, and then you have to put it away and get something else out. Whereas you can multitask with different weapons. You can marry people and have babies.
Wow.
And you can fart in people's faces. But you used to be able to do that anyway.
Could you? Okay.
Now you can render them unconscious.
Wow.
So that's pretty...
that kind of sounds like fun.
Well, yeah. It looks like something that I would definitely like to have a go at.
Yeah.
You're basically following the son of the character from Fable 2. So it's kind of...
These games, like the Fable games, I find them very tedious, really. They're kind of just sprawling, and they look like fun, and then an hour into it you go, this is...
It needs to really be your sort of thing.
Yeah.
You need to be well into your RPGs to play them, and if you are, Fable games are fantastic, because they are so huge, and you can really lose yourself in this universe.
Apparently with this one, I mean, again, because I didn't play Fable 1 or 2, I'm not sure if this is the same, but they've got this golden breadcrumb that you follow, so you can spend a lot of time walking around, but you can also kind of know exactly where you're supposed to go by following this.
I like that, because I don't like those things where it's completely open and huge, and you've got a map and you go, well, I don't know where to go, and you kind of struggle and you get lost.
Yeah.
That's really what they try to do with Fable, is to make it the accessible version of RPGs, which is why the combat is always quite simple as well, as sort of 1 and 2 button combat.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it a while back, and it looked really cool. It's a lot more dirty and grimy than previous ones, because it's gone into the industrial revolution in their world. And
there's like two sections of the game as well, because the first section you are trying to form a revolution to overturn your tyrant brother who's king. So you're going around speaking to people, trying to get people on your side, saying, when I'm king, I'm going to give you this or that, or I'll do this for you. And then the second half of the game, you do become king, and that's not a spoiler. That's it's already out there.
Right.
And then it's up to you whether you stick to your promises or not, and
be an evil king.
And then so every decision you make can change the outcome for you and the game and things like that. So it looks quite cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. But I also completed Monkey Island again.
Oh, there you
on
go.
My
Look
iPhone.
at this. Fantastic.
Yeah, I played it. Secret Monkey Island 10 years ago, maybe. And when it came out on my iPhone, I downloaded it straight away. Yeah. Played a little bit of it, but then put it to one side and never picked it up. Then when I got my new iPhone, I transferred it over.
I
and
have to drop
started
it when I got my new iPhone. Unbelievable. What a show off.
Well, when I did, I transferred the game over, and I was on holiday, and I started playing it then. And since then, I've not really been able to put it down, and finished it at the weekend.
Well, here we go. This is a question for the forums then. What games have you completed recently after me completing Limbo, albeit by cheating? And what games have you never completed? I never completed Halo, the first Halo.
Oh, that was worth completing.
I got really near the end. Is that, if I remember it correctly, you're in one of those like tanks, and you've got to jump over lots of things, and that's right near the end. And there was one jump I just could not do, and I thought, you know what, the ending is just beyond that. I'll leave it at that. Really, I don't think I'll bother going any further. So I never completed that.
It's funny, games are like that sometimes. They'll hook you for so long, and you think, I'm definitely going to play all the way through, and then it just fades away a little bit. But
I could never finish Alex Kidd Miracle World.
Alex Kidd, now there's a blast from the past.
I mean,
My
I
friend Wayne used to
was
love Alex
I was
Kidd, yeah.
very young at the time, but I couldn't get past this one bit. My stepdad had to do it for me. And then after that, wasn't the same.
No.
I was like, oh yeah, you've just taken all my glory.
Alex Kidd was a great game.
Oh, it was brilliant. The
Miracle
little
was.
motorbike
I
and
used to
stuff.
love that. Oh,
good
you've reminded
game.
me. Oh, well, there you go. Games that you have completed recently. I don't want you to give us your full CV of all the games you've completed in the last 15 years. Like, the games you've completed in this month. And games that you have never completed and you kind of got very close to, but you thought you didn't. Where do they go to tell us about this, Nick?
They go
Look at
to...
you trying to remember. I've put you on the spot now, look. You shouldn't be stuffing your face with Jaffa cakes.
It's called multitasking.
I see. Well, let's see if you can do it. Come on.
They go to tinyurl.com /MSN Gamecast.
Well done. Look at that. The pressure's off. Okay, well, as you say, there's not much happening in the world of games at the moment. There's some bits and pieces.
Yeah.
The thing that I saw is that there is going to be, on September the 29th, they're going to announce the release date and the price of the 3DS.
Allegedly.
Now, is this common practice to... Why don't they just announce it now? Why have they announced
So they're going to announce
that they're
it.
going to announce it? They've released the announce date.
But they like doing this, though, don't they?
Oh,
Because they
God.
did it before E3, and they said, at E3, we're going to announce this 3D handheld console. So they already told you what it was.
Yeah.
But they said, but you can't see it now for another few months. So they like to crank up the tension a little bit, I think.
I'm so untense about this. The excitement has dissipated. You know,
backfired.
They should just let us know. Come on, tell us. I'm not going to buy one. I'm hoping they'll send us a free one, won't they?
I don't know.
We'll have a go.
I wouldn't. We'll give it a go. Probably have to send it back.
They are a little bit tight, yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It looks really, really cool.
You're excited by it, aren't you?
I am
excited.
too.
Yeah.
I am too. As long as it's the right price. it'll do.
I was with a kid and his mum, and they had just bought was it the XL, the big DS?
Oh, yeah.
Is it called the XL?
XL, yeah.
And they just bought it like a week before. This is a couple of weeks ago. And I said, "You do know they're bringing out a 3D one, like in the next 6 months?" And they were like, "Oh, you're joking." And they were saying they'd waited for that. They'd waited for every development to come out, and they thought, well, this would probably be the last one. So they bought that. And I don't know.
Nintendo have done that a couple of times. I remember last year they announced the DSi. Or was it the XL? I can't remember. It was one just before kind of Christmas time. So all the sales kind of stopped for the current model because people were waiting for the next one to come out. I think that's what's happened with...
Quite possibly, yeah, because the DS sales have dropped back a little bit now, so I suppose that's to be expected.
yeah.
I wouldn't go out and buy one now.
No.
If
At least wait and see what the price is like.
So I see
anyway.
somewhere Nintendo lost a lot of money as well. That's
Yeah.
was a thing I couldn't quite work out how they were losing money. They report 184 million pounds lost. 184 million pounds. Does it sound more impressive? 25.2 billion yen. That sounds better. For its first financial quarter, how is that possible? What?
It's because people are waiting for the 3DS,
Really?
I reckon,
Yeah.
or at least waiting to find out how much it's going to be. Because if it's going to be a similar price, maybe just a little bit more, then people might think, "Oh, I'll go for the extra functionality."
Hey, but they're still expecting to make a full year profit of £1.5 billion.
That's incredible,
So that's not all bad, is it? Really?
I'll be all right.
I'd settle for that.
Incredible.
They're going to be fine, I think.
Hey, talking of
go on.
3D, I got to see. I got to play Gran Turismo 5 3D.
Oh,
the
you
other
mentioned
day.
this on your email. Yeah, what was that
yeah.
like?
It was the business.
Yeah.
It really was. And I know I've said before, in terms of driving games, my favourite style is the stupid Burnout style
Yeah.
of game. I don't really go for these uber realistic driving efforts, but Gran Turismo 5, yes, it looks amazing, and then you stick it in 3D, and it's just something else.
Well, I think maybe the racing games, because we've always been a little bit. I don't know what your thoughts are on 3D games. I've been a little bit. I don't think it's necessary, and you've not been that keen in the past, Nick.
No.
But I played when we were in Tokyo. I played Wipeout 3D, and it did look amazing. You know, maybe those kind of really fast racing games is where it's really going to take off.
Quite possibly. I mean, it blows away any Blu-ray that I've seen in 3D.
Right.
Because games just work so much better.
Yeah.
They can be specifically programmed to show off 3D perfectly, whereas that's not possible when you're showing an action
You know when
film.
you play Gran Turismo? I haven't played Gran Turismo game for years and years and years. or any of these driving games that try and be realistic, does anyone actually use the gear stick? Because you can have it on automatic or manual. Yeah. Does anyone ever play it on manual?
Automatic.
Yeah, automatic for me.
Hasn't it?
I played Gran Turismo 5 at E3, and they were like, "Do you want it in manual or in automatic?" I was like, "Oh, I'll just go for the automatic, I think."
I remember always kind of sneaking out, and I'm going to take every time I got a new game, I'm going to take this game seriously. I'm going to do it in manual, and I'm going to. And then 10 minutes of just gear crunching and engine revving. It's like, forget this.
It's just not fun then.
No.
The only way that manual works is if you've got the full-on setup with the proper steering wheel and the paddle shifters on the back, and then you can get away with it. Because you can do all the things at once, but when you're doing it with the controller, no chance.
Another question for you forum freaks out there, manual or automatic, what's your preferred setting? And we asked about racing games last month, I think, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We'll have a look at that later on and find out what people like. You're going to Gamescom.
I am, yes. In Cologne.
It's all the trips. Look at you two.
Happy days. It's the European version, effectively, of E3. I mean, they're not affiliated at all, but it's the big game show for Europe.
Okay. So
this is where we see everything that was E3 a little bit further down the line. So there's going to be lots of previews of all the cool new stuff.
Okay. And any heads up? So it's going to be the same stuff you've seen before. It's going to be Kinect. It's going to be the 3DS. It's going to be the same old.
Well, there's going to be a lot of all of that, but obviously it will be a lot more. It will be further down the line. We'll be seeing.
Listen to him desperately trying to justify his little jolly he's got in, just in case his boss is listening. Honestly, it'll be worth. It won't be the same stuff that Verity saw in E3. It'll definitely be worth me.
Yeah. And lots of hard work, and no downtime at all.
Of course.
I wouldn't mind a nice little jolly like that. Other things. James Bond Bloodstone has been announced finally, because they've been hinting at that. And I remember a couple of months ago the URL had been bought, and people were thinking, what's it going to be? Daniel Craig and Judi Dench are going to be in it.
Yes,
which would be
and
nice.
Joss Stone as well.
Now, is she's the young Cornish singer that went to America and became American, is she?
She now has an accent.
She's got the American accent. Everyone laughed at her when she... that's her, isn't it?
That's her.
I met her years ago, and she's 16, and she was Cornish still, and was just breaking out. She was very sweet, and then I saw her a couple of years later, and she had the American accent, and you're like, what have you done that for? You sound ridiculous. So she's singing a song written by Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics, I believe.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Why would they do that?
It's all a bit random. But they showed it at the launch event, the whole intro to the game, and they've made it properly look like a Bond film.
Yeah.
You come in with that whole graphical part at the beginning, where you see you've got the song, and then you've got this really extravagant, overblown stuff going on at the same time, and Joss Stone in the middle of it, and diamonds raining out of the sky, and cars driving around, and all sorts. And it's just
you're not impressed with that.
That just sounds so corny.
But that's what Bond is, though.
Really cool.
Bond is corny, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
that's true.
It could be exciting. There's not been a good Bond game since GoldenEye. I think they've all been rubbish.
GoldenEye's coming back. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Is it definitely?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it was announced
they
at
showed that at the same time.
Oh, did they?
So you've got GoldenEye, but that's just for the Wii.
Right.
And then you've got Bloodstone, which is like the grown-up one for PS3 and X360.
But I remember playing another Bond game and thinking, this would be great, and they're all rubbish, except for GoldenEye. But hopefully Bloodstone could be quite decent. And if Daniel Craig's on board... Do you remember did you ever play the Lost game?
No.
I'm a huge fan of Lost, and the Lost game came, and I was like, this is exciting, and it's got all the characters in it. But then you go up to John Locke, and it doesn't sound like John Locke, because it's not John Locke talking. Then you go up to Jack, and it's none of the actors are in it at all, and it's people not even bothering to do particularly good impressions of them, and I think that takes away so much from a game, especially if it's something that has a kind of geeky hardcore fan base that really that latch onto it, and it's good that Craig's doing it. He must be making a few quid off the back of that.
Happy days.
He must be making a few quid.
But then he's James Bond. He deserves it.
He does. And I said something very, very rude there, and I stopped myself, which is good. There's a game for you, Nick. We Sing Robbie to be released for the Wii.
Oh, smashing!
One of your favourite pop singers.
Can't wait.
Releasing all of his hits on a karaoke sing-along game.
As long as I get to sing Angels, I'm happy.
You will get to sing Angels, yes, which is for the Wii. These games are just relentless. They never seem to stop.
Yeah, we got sent in We Sing pop bands or something like that, which I have taken home, and I will try out once I get all the girls around, because that's what girls do.
Okay.
Yes. But I don't know, I've tried a couple of the karaoke games on the Wii, and they just don't match up to kind of like SingStar
Really?
or Lips.
I had Lips, and I had a little session of Lips with my wife, and we were very disappointed with it because you couldn't hear yourself through the TV very loud. It's very quiet. And then we thought, oh, this is might as well just sing to a record. Well, and you know me as well. But you can't. We were singing a bit of Beyonce, and you want to hear you coming through the speakers loud and clear.
Yeah, SingStar, you certainly hear yourself. It's not always a good thing. But.
Well, no, these are the kind of games you need to get very drunk for, I think,
yes,
to really appreciate it. But so, okay, nice bit of Robbie Williams. And the Gears of War movie has stopped due to script trouble. I didn't even know there was a Gears of War movie.
What a shame, hey?
I think I had heard about it, actually, but it doesn't surprise me that it's been shelved.
We did this. One of the very first podcasts we did 2 years ago was about movie versions of games.
Was that when you challenged Uwe Boll to a fight?
I think that was, yeah. He was the fellow who made... what did he make?
House of the Dead.
Yeah. He did challenge me to a fight. He never took me up on it.
He didn't, did he?
Never. That means I won by default.
You win, yeah.
But there's never been a good movie based on the game. And I can't... Well, obviously they do make money because they wouldn't do it, would they? They must be making their money somehow. But a Gears of War movie... You like Gears of War. You're a big Gears of War fan.
I like Gears of War,
Would you go and see a Gears of War movie? If it was in 3D.
Oh, now we're talking. I don't rush out and see any game movies, to be honest, because they are all so terrible, aren't they? I mean, there's the potential there to make a really good action movie out of the Gears of War franchise. You could definitely do it. But I was reading the reason why they've delayed the movie here, and it's Cliffy B, the game designer, saying that the original script, chosen by director Len Wiseman, would have cost $100 million to make, would have been rated R, and would have contained no love story. And I'm thinking, that's exactly what I want.
That sounds like a wicked film.
That's the good film there.
Yeah.
No love story, for a start. It's an action movie. You don't need one. Chuck a load of money at it, loads of good effects. Brilliant. But so now apparently it's going to be a lot more like District 9 is the aim.
Well, why don't you just watch District 9, which is a brilliant film?
Well,
what was the film... was it The Rock made a film? Did he make Doom?
Yeah.
Was there a Doom movie? And it was there in the action scenes. It was shot from his perspective, wasn't it? I think you saw like a camera, a gun down the edge of the screen, firing and stuff.
I'm pretty sure that was Uwe Boll as well.
Was
directing
it?
That, yeah.
Again, Uwe, I challenge. I don't remember exactly what the challenge was, but if it's a punch up you want, I'll give you one. There we go.
He likes to take people on in his own boxing ring.
Oh, that was it. If people don't like his films, he goes boxing with them, doesn't he? That was it. Yes, I remember, as soon as I said it last time, regretting it instantly.
Apparently he used to be an actual boxer or something.
So what? I know Kung Fu. Now, you've played Halo Reach.
Yes, I have, in multiplayer. Firefight multiplayer, to be exact.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was, if you're a Halo fan, you're going to love it. Yeah. It's it's not reinventing the whole concept of Halo. It's just taking everything from the previous games and chucking it all together to make an Uber Halo for Bungie to go out with.
Is this the last Halo game there's going to be?
It's the last Halo game made by Bungie.
Oh, okay. Why? Well, have they lost the franchise? Is that possible?
Well, I think they're moving on to other stuff. They want to draw a line under Halo.
They want to draw a line under their biggest selling product. Okay, yes, okay.
But Microsoft retains the franchise and presumably will continue to make more Halo games in the future.
One of my Xbox Live friends is one of the guys that wrote Halo 3 at the very least. I don't know if you did I think he did the earlier ones. And I played him once at Halo Online. He destroyed me. I didn't stand a chance. I couldn't even get one kill, and he's just whipping my backside. I'm thinking, well, he built this game. Of course he knows what to do. I don't stand a chance here. But so Halo Reach, good.
Yeah, very good. But I feel your pain with getting taken out easily, though, because I played this demo in a room full of games journalists, like a lot of whom specialise purely in particular types of games. Yeah. And, so most of these guys play nothing but shooters, and I just got destroyed.
And all they do is play them all day at work as well.
Yeah.
Just
those ones that are a bit frantic, like Halo and Call of Duty. I can't do it online.
I can't keep up.
It's too fast. Which is why I like the Rainbow Six, because it's a little bit slower, a bit more skillful,
a bit more tactical.
A little bit more tactical, which is I think is the way.
But Reach. In Firefights, which was in ODST, the previous Halo game, you play as 4 players together, and you're fighting off the Covenant, waves and waves of the Covenant keep coming at you. So it's quite an old school concept in a way. You've just got constant streams of enemy coming at you. But it's a lot more customisable than it was before, so you can change every aspect of it, how hard the enemy are, what particular types of enemy come, or what sort of weapons you'll start with. You've now got armours such as jetpacks, so you can go shooting up into the sky like all over the place. And there's some nice extra modes in there as well. There's a mode called Versus, which pits 2 players against the other 2 players. 2 of you are Marines, and the other 2 are the elite, the Covenant, like with the Covenant backing them up.
You're getting all excited at this. He's bouncing around like a little boy. I love it.
It's really good fun, actually, apart from the fact that I got taken out the whole time. But nonetheless.
Well, we should have a session online because we will both be rubbish and wouldn't do each other any damage whatsoever.
I like that idea.
Sounds like a date, boys.
It does sound like a date. Nice little online date. Namco Bandai preview. Oh, I love Bandai. Bandai have been around forever. They made... didn't they make little... Like, not Game & Watch, that was Nintendo, but they used to make little... I think I had a Mini Munchman, which was a Pac-Man rip-off made by Bandai back in the day.
They had those desktop-type ones as well, didn't they? They had a slightly bigger screen.
I've got a soft spot for Bandai.
Good stuff.
What are they bringing out now? Enslaved Odyssey.
Odyssey
to the West. Yes, excuse me. Oh,
Did
go
you
on.
watch Monkey?
Oh, of course I watched Monkey. Yeah, it was one of the greatest programs of all time. Yeah.
Well, this is another remake of that story.
Bertie, are you old enough to remember Monkey Magic? Did you?
No.
They're not. Oh man,
absolutely no idea.
A quick description. It was this mental Japanese program based on a Chinese legend about this naughty monkey who was more powerful than all the gods in heaven.
This sounds amazing already.
It's brilliant. And he was born from a stone rock, I seem to remember. Born from an egg on a mountain top. Monkey is funky there ever was. That's it. those are the lyrics. And Buddha kind of puts him with this monk who's a boy, but was actually played by a girl, and a pig demon, Pigsy, and a water demon, Sandy, and they had to travel from China to India, I think it was, or maybe the other way around, China to India to pick up the holy scriptures of Buddha. But the programme was hilarious. It's Japanese and it's really badly dubbed as well, so that makes it instantly funnier. But there was the best bit, of course, when he wanted to summon his magic flying cloud, he would rip his chest hairs off, and then his pink flying cloud would appear, and then he'd jump up on it, and then he'd go flying off. It was the best programme in the world.
This sounds amazing.
I remember the first episode I watched because it was really big at my school, and I'd never seen it. It was on BBC Two at 5:15, I think. And I was 8, and I remember sitting on my mum's lap, and the first episode I watched was Pigsy and Sandy, who are both blokes. They drank this water because they were really thirsty, but it was the water of fertility, so they both got pregnant. And I'm there with my mum, and we're both going, what the hell is this? But it was brilliant.
Do you think it's going to be on YouTube or something?
I thoroughly recommend you type in the Monkey opening credits, and not the monkeys, but Monkey opening credit, and watch the opening titles, because it's just... The song is just wonderful. My friend Andrew Carvey had it on single. Anyway, sorry, that's a little bit of reminiscing. There's a game.
So you do remember Monkey?
In answer to that question, yes, vaguely.
Excellent. Yeah, well, this is based on the same story that Monkey was based on. So there's obviously been lots of various retellings of it over the year. This time, that story gets put forward into post-apocalyptic future.
Oh, this sounds dirty. Yes, I'm in.
Classic old standby of gamings in recent years. But this is post-apocalypse in Manhattan, and this time the monk is actually a girl, Trip, and she's a hacker. And Monkey is this huge brute of a guy, and it's basically Brawn's and Brain. He's the Brawn and she's the Brain, and they are on a slave ship, and they manage to escape from this slave airship, which crashes into Manhattan 150 years after this huge war. And nature has taken over Manhattan. So it looks beautiful because there's a jungle, basically, that's overgrown Grand Central Station and Brooklyn Bridge and all of this sort of thing. And your task is to get across Manhattan. You play as Monkey. And you have to guide Trip across Manhattan. I'm in. Gameplay feels quite a lot like Uncharted. There's a lot of swinging off of stuff and leaping around and this sort of thing. You get your cloud. You get Monkey's Cloud again, but only in certain parts of the game, and this time it's a bit more high tech. It's a sort of electrical field that can scoot you across.
Oh, I'm getting all excited about this. This sounds fantastic.
Good, yeah.
I'm in. Verity, your homework is to look at the Monkey Magic opening credits.
Yes,
next month, let us know
that.
what you think.
I will. I promise.
It's very exciting. That sounds fantastic. What else has been happening? Alan Wake download content, the Signal.
Yeah,
I didn't dig Alan Wake, as you know.
You didn't like it?
No, I did. It's just too slow and too tedious.
You won't like the DLC then.
I'm not going to bother with it, Nick. If I'm completely honest, I'm just asking to be polite because I know that you totally love Alan Wake.
I'm trying to play on hard.
Tough guy.
Yeah, which was a bad decision in the end. Because, I keep getting really badly stuck, because it is actually really hard on a hard level. Yeah, it's more out there than the original levels were. So suddenly you're surrounded by the words of your book that are coming to life and trying to fight you and stuff like this.
Really?
But it's, if you like the main part of the game, then get the DLC, because it's more good stuff.
Is it free?
No.
Oh, I thought it was... Got that wrong.
Free in this day and age.
I thought
it doesn't cost a lot. I think it's about 560 points or something like that.
What does that mean? I literally have no concept of what that means.
Well, 1,800 points.
What's the exchange rate these days?
1,800 points costs you about 20 quid. Something like
Someone do some maths. So 560...
It's around about £5.
Ish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's confusing, isn't it?
It is.
They're getting rid of 1 versus 100.
They are.
Why are they doing that? I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't really play it that often, if I'm honest. That could be why they're getting rid of it. I've just answered my own question, I think.
Yeah. I was the same, actually. I really liked it, but...
I can never work out. I did play it a few times, and I could never work out if I was in the game or not in the game. Was I one of the 100 or not? Because sometimes I thought I was one of the 100, but then it turns out I wasn't. And then once I didn't think I was in it, and then I got knocked out because I was in it. I hadn't realised.
Maybe this is why. Maybe everybody was confused by it.
And also, I used to watch them doing it, and I don't know who used to present it, but I used to think, well, I should have got that gig.
Hopefully, the 1 versus 100 concept is something they'll come back to in another way, because I mean, it was always a first feeler into that sort of gameplay. I guess the reason why that might have got pulled was, like you say, people didn't feel involved in it enough. I know when I played it, I always seemed to be in the audience.
Verity.
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yes, I played another preview. It's for all previews at the minute. The first level of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2, and it was pretty good actually. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I could see myself playing it. It's got the first level. Basically, you're the clone of the protagonist from the first game. Darth Vader has cloned your character because he wants to keep him as his own.
Of course.
But then he keeps getting these flashbacks of his love, Juno, and he's like, this isn't right, and he kind of works out that he's a clone, but he wants to get to the bottom of why and all this kind of stuff. So he breaks out of the lab, you jump out, and Darth Vader's watching you going, I'll get you. And
in that slightly not bothered voice.
I'll get you. You just... And so you're going down this tower and you've got to dodge loads of stuff, and that's quite a cool start to the game. Then as you're going through the first level, you learn all of the powers that you're going to have. So there's like a force push, which is using the force, and so you can grab something and pick it up and throw it. And then once you've done a lot of cool stuff, you can get, I can't remember what it's called, Force Fury, and then you can pick up stuff that you wouldn't be able to usually pick up with force push, and then throw that, like massive machine enemies and things like that, and TIE fighters and things like that.
Whoa,
and you can pick them up and just throw them.
And
then there's Jedi mind tricks, and a new one as well, which is you can use your mind to send the storm.
You're looking for. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can send the storm.
I don't even know Star Wars, and I'm quoting it. I've surprised myself there.
You can send the stormtroopers mad, so they commit suicide and throw themselves off buildings and stuff. And then you've also got 2 lightsabers, so you can like throw them at once, and they go like boomerangs. And come back to you. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool gameplay, really.
So, Star Wars games, they're very hit and miss, aren't they? I find. And I'm not a Star Wars fan. I've only seen the Star Wars, and was the other one Empire Strikes Back. That's all I've seen. I've not seen Return of the Jedi. It's supposed to be quite good, apparently.
Well, you can leave it there, to be honest.
Really?
It was only downhill after Empire.
Really?
Yeah.
But I do quite like a bit of Star Wars game now and then, because lightsabers are well cool. You can't deny that. They are one of the coolest weapons in movie history.
And with these 2 now, you can do these grapples, and they're kind of, once you've click the buttons, it's kind of goes into slow-mo and it goes up close and shows you like a really cool kill. And with 2, it's double cool.
Double cool kill.
Double cool
Do we know when that's coming out, or are all these games just kind of vaguely in the ether,
It's
waiting?
towards the end of the year.
Anything else before we have a look at the forum?
I wanted to recommend anyone that uses Twitter.
That's all of us, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Peter Molyneux's got his own Twitter account, but sadly doesn't post on it all that often, just every now and again. But there's a fake Peter Molyneux, and this one I really like.
Okay,
you know, you get a lot of fake celebs about, don't you, on Twitter? But Peter Molyneux 2 is on there, and his most recent tweet is a good example. Has any game ever really featured oxygen? Sure, little bars of oxygen that drain, but I actually mean a real sense of oxygen around you. Which you can totally imagine Peter Molyneux coming out with this sort of stuff.
Storming into the office one day, I want a game with oxygen. Yeah. I want to make a game with oxygen. Let's spend the next 5 years and not release it. Someone sent me a very funny link. It's one of the Lost writers, I think it's Lindelof. He has posted the top 6 or top 5 nastiest tweets he received after the Lost finale. They're all filthy. The only one I can possibly say on here is... So this person has watched the Lost finale and they said, I've just opened a Twitter account just to tell you how bad the Lost finale was. And the rest are filthy and really sweary and very nasty. But go and Google that. It's very funny. Let's have a quick look at the forum. We asked about driving games, I seem to remember. Best driving game ever. And look at this. Johnny J26 has mentioned this. And Outrun Arcade. That's the one where you sat down and it moved around. That was a brilliant game.
That was awesome, yeah.
I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Stoner 99. Burnouts 3 and 4 were great.
Posompu, nice name, mate. He mentions Daytona, which was another awesome arcade racer. Daytona down on Brighton Seafront.
Yeah,
we always pile in and you get that 8-way link up.
Yeah, Daytona was good.
Billy Brush suggests Road Rash.
Yeah, that was cool.
Mike Ryu said the DS variation issue. We mentioned this has been brought up a lot, and I don't really get it. Some are acting like this is the first time. Nintendo have been doing this since the Game Boy, which had 3 versions. The 3DS is more like the Game Boy Advance, which also had 3 different versions. It uses the name of the previous console, but has all new guts and is a complete generational upgrade. Good show, guys. Verity has hit the ground running.
Oh wow, how lovely!
There you go. It's just some. Well, I won't be rude, but they're probably, you know, like the sound of your voice. I'll leave it at that.
We've got a little comment here for Stunt Car Racer as well, which... do you remember Stunt Car Racer on the Amiga?
No.
Did you play that?
I didn't have an Amiga.
Oh, Stunt Car Racer was great. It was really just almost sort of wireframe graphics, really.
Yeah.
Quite simple polygons, but you were... on these ridiculous tracks, and it was exactly what it describes.
Did this come out on the Mega Drive as well? I remember seeing a game like...
maybe.
Had a game, when we left college and we were signing on for a few years, we went to Cash Converters and got a Mega Drive for like 20 quid. And I think one of the games was that, or it rings a bell.
Yeah, quite possibly. It was around that era, sort of Mega Drive kind of time.
I tell you what I played a couple of months ago for the first time in ages, Micro Machines. Oh, Micro Machines is a great game. Really exciting little game. Fantastic. Listen, that's probably our lot. We've asked you the questions. You've listened to them. You know what they are. Go to the forum, which is at tinyurl.com.
Yes. /MSN Gamecast.
That's us, isn't it? Yeah. Well done. Verity, lovely to see you as always.
As always.
Thank you very much, Nick. Good work.
Cheers.
Same kind of vaguely, sort of the same time next month-ish.
Yeah. See you then.
Ta-ta.
Gamecast from MSN.
In association with Windows Internet Explorer 8.